There we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. Good morning. It's Ginny from DS Tech in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I have Tim and Eli here.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hello.
We're going to talk about simple ways to make your employees more valuable.
Yes.
And actually, it'll make them happier too. So, because, we humans like to learn new things, right?
Mhm.
And there's lots of ways that you can help your employees do so in a way that helps them be more productive and know more and be more. So we're going to talk about that. But before I do, make sure you go to our website and sign up for our newsletter so that you can get, happens to be an idea from one of our articles right there on the website. So you can read those and get all kinds of updates and news from us. So, and you can sign up for your free security assessment there. So what are some ways? I know I had 6 of them listed,
Yep.
but we might know more.
Yeah, and I'll probably add in some of my own
So-
stuff as we go too. But the idea of this is mainly, if you can just break down one thing from this, is just continuous learning. You shouldn't think of it as you hire an employee or new and then you train them
and
and
just
then that's
And
it.
then they're done forever,
You're
right?
gone on the job and just keep doing your job, right? And the idea is continuous training and kind of assessing where they're at and kind of assisting them through that and kind of focusing on the technology side of things as we are kind of modern with that. So the first one is conducting IT training sessions. So the most important way to improve IT literacy among employees is through training sessions, whether it be the onboarding, maybe a refresher every once in a while. The biggest thing of that is like the security awareness training, making sure that they don't click the link.
Yes,
that kind
don't
of
click
thing.
the link.
So just things like that you're not just saying once at the beginning and then you kind of just set them loose, but you're continually, whether it's
Teaching
quarterly,
them.
every half year, every year, have a refresher, however you want to decide to do it, but make sure you're continuously kind of training them on that so it's not kind of being forgotten about. And also the things are changing and evolving,
Yeah.
especially with the AI. The messages that you're getting in your spam are more sophisticated. So to have that extra eye and be aware of it is more important now than ever. So
I keep having to revisit it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
ask you guys, I'm like, okay, this looks legit, but it's not. I find
Yep.
out later. Anyway, so there's that. And then I was going to say too, we have a library of like Microsoft Office training.
mhm.
And Microsoft has a library of Microsoft Office training.
Always good to brush up on.
Yeah.
LinkedIn has a library of Microsoft Office training.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all that stuff is easily available.
It's totally available.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was go right into the next point of encouraging online learning.
Perfect.
So online learning
Yeah,
platforms have
segues
been
right in.
increasingly popular over the past, with IT courses, encouraging your employees to explore these platforms and take advantage of the opportunity to upskill themselves, because not only in the role that they're currently performing, but by getting these skills and you're improving yourself in office just in general. Like I still use some basic Excel tricks that I learned back in like high school and college today still, but
Yeah.
knowing those tricks and things have helped me throughout, and you'll learn more tricks and then they'll help you on your next job, your next career path, whatever you're moving to, or even if you're just already where you're at, it'll still help you improve and be more efficient. So just constantly brushing up on those online courses and learning the standard Excel, Word, Office shortcuts and tricks, saving an extra click here and there, but you repeat that a couple thousand times throughout the day, it will be a big time save. And so learning those efficiencies will be a better employee and you'll get more done. So you feel better about
I
yourself.
love it when Tim comes
Absolutely.
to my desk and says, "Did you know you could do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I love it. I love it."
Learned
And
something
then-
new today.
The one I like is usually I have like 100 windows open, right? You're working throughout the day, you got your email open, a website open with 10 tabs, you got all this other stuff here, and you're like, oh no, I need to click that Excel sheet that's on my desktop. Should you be saving on your desktop? Probably not, but usually you got files on the desktop. So the one I use all the time is the Windows key and D for desktop.
Yeah.
What it does is it minimizes every single window on your computer at the exact same time in one button, so that way you can get to your desktop. So that's
I like the little quick
I'm gonna
pin
use
to
that.
the bar thing that you showed me.
Oh, pinning to the bar.
That's
yeah.
a little bit more
Yeah,
complicated.
but anyway,
to
so just
explain.
little tips that
Yeah.
you learn throughout will make things more efficient, and it's fun. when
Don't
that
we have a
happens.
channel on our teams too where we share tips?
Yep, we have like a tech
Yeah.
tips channel. So if you stumble
If
across
you learn
that's
something,
kind of new,
you
you
share
can
it.
just share it, and then
Yeah.
other maybe someone already knows it, no big deal. But then for the staff who doesn't know it, they're going to take that tip and run with it.
You
so.
see that, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So another one here, they're talking about establishing an IT help desk. So this is obviously going to be dependent on the size and scope of your business. But if you have like a help desk or certain people within your corporation that you can have as kind of a training person or a tech go-to guy, where if staff has questions on how to do tech, you can go to them. Obviously, if you have DS Tech as your MSP, we're there for you to answer questions that you might have, extremely technical, but we're talking, say a staff member just wants to know how to do something. Having someone that maybe can be a dedicated point man or woman that they can go to ask those questions to get help can be more efficient as well. And then
How about Bing Chat?
you can use the Bing Chat, can help you, but I'm still leery with the AI. It still gives you a lot of good, answers for productive stuff. But if you have like a technical question or it's specific to the business that you're supposed to be doing, you're probably gonna have to go to like another staff member for that. But if it's like a
Is there a
general
chance they're
question,
gonna help me set up a printer?
yeah, it might give you some suggestions, but probably not. You're gonna want to call us.
Yeah.
And
All right.
What I find with that, I mean, this is off topic anyway, but it is
printers
it
are
does-
still this stuff.
yeah, they're a pain in the butt. And you can still click the websites in the answer so
Mhm.
that you can go check it out, because
Yep.
sometimes the chat will tell you stuff and then you're like, I'm not
seems
so sure
odd.
about that.
Mhm.
Anyway,
So, fostering a tech savvy culture. So, by promoting values that encourage tech IT literacy within the company, and then recognizing and rewarding those employees who are doing well. Whether want to I don't know if it talks about in here, but making it. Oh, that's later at the end. So then, yep. So by acknowledging staff who may have learned something. Oh, geez, I apologize.
well, my phone was going
Popular
off
man.
too.
So much
We
phone
forgot to.
calls. Right, so anyway, with that, basically just encourage the employees, and then when an employee does do something well and maybe teaches another staff something or learns something that's new and efficient, reward them with praise. And people like getting praise for doing well, as opposed to just being told when they're wrong. So
Should I
using
bring
You
that
did
up?
a really
positive
good job silencing
reinforcement is
your
good.
phone, Tim. Appreciate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
Should I bring that up in the daily huddle in the morning when Tim helps me?
I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I don't like getting the accolades or praise, because I'm just like that's just my personality. But some people might like it too. Just all depends. So providing accessible IT resources. So making sure you have some of these, say you do come up with a new process, or you have a nice tip that you have for a staff member or process you're doing, make sure you have a spot that other staff members can access those tips. Like we have the text tips channel we were talking about, maybe
I love
having a
it.
folder in your public drive that you share different tips with that staff can go. So when they're, oh, how do I do this? You might just have, they call it documentation, where you write your steps down that you did so that other people can reference it later and repeat that. So if you have a good tip you do and you like to do, write it down and share it with other people.
One of my tickets is constantly like documenting the process of me doing my work.
Yep.
So Microsoft Office has, I forgot what it's called, Stream, maybe?
Okay. I'm not sure on that particular one, but
I don't remember the name of it, but you can record your desktop.
Oh, nice.
And
okay.
so I created videos, and Josh has those videos connected
Mhm.
to all the documentation, so that anybody, if they really, like if something,
Oh yeah.
God forbid, if something happened to me, knock on wood, somebody could go into that document and just
Mhm.
watch me doing my work
Yep.
and me talking about how I do it,
Yep.
and they
That's-
could just follow and do
Yeah.
it.
That's the best way to do is to pair video with work. One thing, again, kind of a little off topic here, what we did internally is we had, these audits that we do for like our more VIP customers, where we go through their entire network and check various things to make sure that things are running smoothly, kind of a preventative maintenance type thing. We check it every month and we do that. So, but part of that it was a lot of processes to do. There's 20 some tasks to do. So one of my big projects when I first started here was to go through every single one of those tasks, document it exactly, and then actually I recorded kind of what you did, where I actually ran through an entire audit, every little
Yep.
step. I recorded the video with the other staff I was showing, so that way they can reference the video as well as the documentation and kind of look at everything as well. And having the video to go side by side with it and actually see someone make the clicks is
Yeah.
really useful for training. So there's different software out there you can use to record your desktop. What Ginny suggested as well. Otherwise, there's OBS. That's free. There's all kinds of different stuff that you can use to record your sessions and make those training videos. It seems silly. You're like, oh, I can do this job in 15 minutes. Now it's going to take me 30 to track what I'm doing
And document it.
and document it, and you're being slow and you might want to get to your
Saving time
next
along
task.
the way.
But by having that, taking the time to do it, it'll make the
It
subsequent
saves-
times faster, and in the long run, you will save time. So
Yeah.
take the time to do it right now, and that way in the future, it'll be better. So And then the last part of this, kind of incorporating IT into the performance reviews. So, by doing so, you're encouraging, again, the literacy and the training. So if you have staff members, you can even have little, if you learn a certain thing this year, maybe not necessarily give them a straight bonus, but maybe give them different perks, different things. Obviously, it's for you to decide within your organization. By incorporating learning and training and using that positive reinforcement strategy, by rewarding those staff who do it versus just punishing those who don't, you're going to get more people likely to actually take the training and want to do the training to be part of that group. And so by having those in the performance reviews can help with the staff as well. It happens far too often nowadays where someone comes, fresh out of college, and just because they're 23, 24 years old, they just assume that this person knows everything about computers because they have a smartphone and they grew up with it.
You know everything.
20-somethings. Yeah.
I know, right?
Not
You know
to be-
everything.
not to- not-
For sure.
You're
For sure.
very-
Yeah. Oh, yes.
But the biggest thing with
Sorry.
that is no, that's fine. And it can be discouraging. I mean, because a lot of the things that they have, it just works, right? They have a smartphone, they go to websites, do whatever. All this stuff that they're using with their college, most of the time, it just works.
Yeah.
And then you get put in the workforce where, as you know, a lot of things don't just work. And so what happens is they're not used to kind of going through the troubleshooting motions. They haven't had to really do that a lot because things have just worked. So I guess explaining, having a little bit more patience with them, not just assuming because that they're a younger generation that's around technology, that they know the technology, can definitely help, and make sure to help train them and get them up to snuff, So
Yeah, we do it to our kids all the time.
Yep.
Blake, you should know this because you're a software engineer.
Yeah, you should be able to fix this. So come over here. Yeah.
Come over here and fix my printer.
Yeah.
No. He doesn't know any more than I do.
Yep. You might be able, just same thing. Google and figure it out, right?
Yeah, right? Exactly.
So, but that's just kind of a big, thing to work on. They're finding nowadays with training people that it's kind of can be kind of rougher with the younger generation, where a lot of employers are just assuming they know everything and really got to just treat them like a regular employee. They just go through all the security training, all the same stuff, because they're probably not getting emails embedded in their emails like a business email. So.
And even if you think, even if the person thinks they know, going through the training is good anyway, because there's always something that you can pick
Sometimes you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Until you find out.
Yes.
Really.
Yes. What's the saying by Socrates that says,
I'm not sure.
something about like the wise man knows that he doesn't know anything or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, besides the point.
Because I always thought that too.
There's
It's
a
like, if
Dunning-Kruger
I say
effect,
I know
there's all
everything,
sorts
well,
of-
then you're already just admitting a lie because you don't know everything. So
Yeah,
by
nobody
thinking,
can.
Exactly. So
Right?
there's always room to learn. There's always room for improvement. I agree with that too. I don't know the specific quote, but yes.
It's,
If we ever do
I
one
might
on
be
psychology,
screwing
there's
it
a
all up.
Dunning-Kruger effect. That's very interesting. But
What? Say that again?
I said if we ever do a video on psychology, there's a Dunning-Kruger effect. But
Oh, interesting.
disregard.
Should we do a psychology episode?
The
Maybe.
The psychology of technology.
Yes.
Psychology of tech. Well, that would be
Tune
an
in next
interesting
week.
one, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? I'll put Tim on it. He'll research
Right.
it.
I can get create. How social media is making algorithms to get you hooked quicker and things like that, and go all
that's a
down,
real
down the
thing.
deep rabbit. Oh no,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is
That is a
thing.
real thing.
Absolutely.
They hire actual psychologists
And teams
and teams of psychologists to get you.
and addiction
Well,
specialists. who
Yeah,
actually-
isn't that interesting? It is interesting, and they are addictive.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's a whole nother
Okay,
rabbit hole, but
We are way off.
Yeah.
So
Just to recap, going through with your training sessions with your new employees or even existing employees is always good to have continuous IT training, and then to encourage those who are going through training and reward them. Things like that are going to just get the most out of your staff, and you're also then setting them up for future success, where if they move on or have a career, they're learning these skills that they can take with them elsewhere, and it will just further them as a person. So, it's just good to have that continuous training, and don't just do a one-on. So let's onboard you, and that's it.
So keep learning, keep growing, keep being your wonderful self. So that's my little positive.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So go to our website, dstech.net, sign up for our newsletter, and make sure you sign up for a free security assessment if you own a business that needs one. So make it a great day, and we'll see you next time.